So now it's time for our craft for today. And there are actually two crafts today, so it's quite exciting. The first one involves some paper or card, which you should have in your pack, labelled day 2. You should have an A4 piece of card like this, and you'll need to fold that in half. Okay, so you just fold it down the middle and squeeze nicely. So you've got a folded piece of card. Okay. You'll need a glue stick. There should be one in your pack. And hopefully you've got a pair of scissors somewhere as well. In your pack, you should have at least one of these things. They're called a split pin. Okay, and I'll show you what to do with that in a minute. And you should also have a little strip that looks like this. Yours is probably cut out already, but you might need to trim it a bit neater because I didn't do it very well when I put it in the packs. So I'm just going to cut one out now, carefully with my scissors. And so I've got one ready to go. So you should have a strip that looks like this. With your A4 piece of card, which you've folded, you need to cut out a doorway for a tomb. Okay, so only on one half, so you might need to unfold it, and probably in the middle, you want to cut out a doorway like this. Ask an adult to help you if you need them to. Okay, and once you've done that, that's going to be your doorway for the tomb. This slip of paper is going to go inside your card, and you're going to be able to move it. He has died and he has risen. Okay, so you just need to pop some glue down either side inside the card, and then the card will stick together, and you should be able. So I glued all along this edge and all along above here, and now I can move my strip. So it changes from Jesus died in the tomb to he has risen. Okay. Then with your doorway, you might want to decorate your doorway. You've got some pens in your pack. You will probably want to decorate your whole cave tomb thing, and I'll show you the one I did earlier, which isn't very good, and I'm sure you can do a much better job of decorating it. Okay, but to attach your tomb doorway, you need your split pin, and you just push a hole near the top through your split pin, and then with your A4 piece of card, roughly where you cut out your tombstone, again, you just push it through. You might need to make a bigger hole or a little hole, or get someone to help you. And then with the split pin, it splits into, and you can flatten down the bottom, and that means that your doorway, your stone tomb doorway, can roll away. Okay, so you've got a moving paper craft to remind you of Jesus' resurrection. This is the one I did earlier, and if you've got the pack, you'll have this one in your pictures. And you see I've just written Jesus' great escape on there, and I've kind of coloured in my tombstone, but I reckon there could be a lot better decoration than I can do. So that's the first craft for you today. The second craft is a baking craft, and you should have in your pack a bag. Yours might have handles that has the ingredients that you need in it. Okay, there was a couple of things that you needed to put in the fridge. So the first thing is a packet of croissant dough in a tube. Simple, easy. Okay, and then the second thing was some butter, Hopefully those things are in the fridge. Also in your bag, you should have a piece of greaseproof paper to line your tray, a bag with some marshmallows in it. You should have 12. You might only need 6, but I'll explain why in a minute, but you can use 12 if you want to, or you can just use 6 and then eat the other 6. And then you've got a little bag with some sugar and some cinnamon in it. Okay, so that's what you've got in your pack. And what we're going to make is something called resurrection rolls. And these involve the marshmallows representing the body of Jesus. So you're going to take your marshmallow, or 2, you can put them together and make a body, and they're going to represent the body of Jesus when he came down from the cross. Okay, you're going to melt the butter, and you're going to then dip your marshmallow into the melted butter. And once you've dipped it in the melted butter, you're going to dip it in the cinnamon sugar. Now, mine's a bit not quite mixed together yet, so you'll need to mix it together. You could leave it in the bag and just shake it up, or you can pour it out into a bowl and mix it together. And then you dip your melted marshmallow in the melted butter and then in the cinnamon and sugar. And that represents all the herbs and spices and oils that Jesus's body was anointed with after he died. And then you're going to need to have opened up your croissant dough, and in there you'll find that there are 6 triangles of dough. So you'll need to separate those out. There's some good little pictures on the instructions that are in your pack, and I will post the sheet as well. And all you do is you wrap up Jesus's body in the dough. And you've got to make sure you've got to make it nice and tight. Okay, Jesus's body needed to be wrapped nice and tightly because it was really hot in the country where he died, and so it would have needed to be wrapped nice and tightly so that the body wouldn't start to smell and things like that. But also because, you know, Jesus's death was a big deal and the tomb was quite heavily guarded, so we've got to make him sure he's nice and snugly and tight in there. And you're going to do that for each one, and you're going to put them on a baking tray, and then you're going to put them in the oven. And when they come out of the oven, I think it's 10-15 minutes, Jesus's body will have disappeared and you will be left with an empty tomb.